Have you heard about NASA's new Webb telescope? Do you know what it's doing and what it's capable of? If not, then don't worry about it. We are here to tell you all about the new telescope. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope is just an infrared space observatory that launched on December 25, 2021. From ESA's launch site at Kourou in French Guiana at 7:20 a.m. EST, 12:20 GMT, 9:20 a.m. local time in Kourou, aboard an Arianespace Ariane 5 rocket. It's the largest and most powerful space telescope to date. Without further ado, let's get back to the video. The James Webb Space Telescope is a space telescope which conducts infrared astronomy. As the largest optical telescope in space, its high resolution and sensitivity allow it to view objects too old, distant, or faint for the Hubble Space Telescope. This will enable investigations across many fields of astronomy and cosmology, such as observation of the first stars, the formation of the first galaxies, and detailed atmospheric characterization of potentially habitable exoplanets. The U.S. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, led JWST's design and development and partnered with two main agencies, the European Space Agency, ESA, and the Canadian Space Agency, CSA. The NASA Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland managed telescope development. The Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore on the Homewood campus of Johns Hopkins University operates JWST, and the prime contractor was Northrop Grumman. The telescope is named after James E. Webb, who was the administrator of NASA from 1961 to 1968 during the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs. The James Webb Space Telescope has a mass that's about half of the Hubble Space Telescope's mass. The JWST has a 6.5-meter, 21 feet diameter gold-coated beryllium primary mirror made up of 18 separate hexagonal mirrors. The mirror has a polished area of 26.3 meters square, 283 square feet, of which 0.9 meters square, 9.7 square feet is obscured by the secondary support struts, giving a total collecting area of 25.4 meters square, 273 square feet. This is over 6 times larger than the collecting area of Hubble's 2.4-meter, 7.9 feet diameter mirror, which has a collecting area of 4.0 meters square, 43 square feet. The mirror has a gold coating to provide infrared reflectivity, and this is covered by a thin layer of glass for durability. JWST is designed primarily for near-infrared astronomy, but can also see orange and red visible light, as well as the mid-infrared region depending on the instrument. It can detect objects up to 100 times fainter than Hubble can, and objects much earlier in the history of the universe, back to redshift Z20, about 180 million years cosmic time after the Big Bang. For comparison, the earliest stars are thought to have formed between Z30 and Z20, 100 to 180 million years cosmic time, and the first galaxies may have formed around redshift Z15, about 270 million years cosmic time. Hubble is unable to see further back than very early reionization at about Z11.1, galaxy GN Z11, 400 million years cosmic time. NASA released the first scientific images from Webb at a live event on July 12, 2022. Explore the first images in more detail and what it means for JWST science. The $10 billion James Webb Space Telescope will probe the cosmos to uncover the history of the universe from the Big Bang to exoplanet formation and beyond. It's one of NASA's great observatories, huge space instruments that include the likes of the Hubble Space Telescope that peer deep into the cosmos. It took just 30 days for the James Webb Space Telescope to travel nearly 1 million miles, 1.5 million kilometers, to its permanent home, Lagrange Point 2, a gravitational stable location in space. The telescope arrived at L2, the second Sun-Earth Lagrange point, on June 24, 2022. L2 is a spot in space near Earth that lies opposite the Sun. This orbit will allow the telescope to stay in line with Earth as it orbits the Sun. It's been a popular spot for several other space telescopes, including the Herschel Space Telescope and the Planck Space Observatory. According to NASA, the James Webb Space Telescope will focus on 4 main areas: the first light in the universe, the assembly of galaxies in the early universe, the birth of stars and protoplanetary systems, and planets, including the origins of life. On July 11, 2022, NASA announced that all 17 of the observatory's scientific instrument modes had been fully vetted and that the James Webb Telescope was ready to begin its epic science mission. The powerful James Webb Space Telescope will take amazing photos of celestial objects like its predecessor, the Hubble Space Telescope. Luckily for astronomers, the Hubble Space Telescope remains in good health, and it's probable that the two telescopes will work together for JWST's first years. JWST will also look at exoplanets previously identified by the Kepler Space Telescope and follow up on real-time observations from ground space telescopes. The James Webb Space Telescope is the product of an impressive international collaboration between NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency. According to NASA, the JWST involved over 300 universities, organizations, and companies across 29 US states and 14 countries. The nominal duration for the James Webb Space Telescope is 5 years, but the goal is 10 years according to ESA. Thanks to a successful and precise launch, NASA announced that the JWST should have enough fuel to more than double its minimum mission life expectancy of 10 years. Since its launch, the James Webb Space Telescope's accomplishments just keep on coming. An impressive HD video captured the observatory flying away from the Ariane 5 rocket that carried it into space. The 3-minute video shows Webb slowly drifting away from its rocket stage and unfurling its solar panels. The James Webb Space Telescope deployed and tested a key antenna on December 26, 2021, in a process that took about 1 hour, according to a NASA statement. The antenna will be responsible for twice daily science data dumps to Earth. Just a day later, on December 27th, the observatory sailed beyond the orbit of the Moon. On December 31st, 2021, Webb successfully unfurled its massive sun shield. The tensioning of the sun shield's 5 layers began on January 3, 2022, and was completed the next day. The telescope's secondary mirror was then successfully deployed and latched on January 5, 2022. Then, on January 8, 2022, NASA announced that the James Webb Space Telescope had successfully unfolded the giant primary mirror and is now fully deployed. The next step for Webb is the alignment of the 18 individual mirrors that make up the observatory's primary mirror. NASA estimates the work could take up to 120 days after launch for the alignment to be complete. The James Webb Space Telescope reached its final destination, L2, the second Sun-Earth Lagrange point, which it will orbit on January 24, 2022, after traveling nearly 1 million miles, 1.5 million kilometers. That's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, kindly like the video and subscribe to our channel.